My husband's family offered him $3 million to divorce me before his grandmother died. 3 years of marriage. 3 years of being that girl who didn't belong. No trust fund, no pedigree. But Eleanor was different. Every Saturday, while her family networked at country clubs and wrote tax-deductible checks for appearances, Eleanor and I sat in her glass conservatory playing rummy and drinking lemonade. She treated me like blood. Her actual family treated me like a stain. For months ago, Eleanor gripped my wrist after a card game, her papery fingers surprisingly strong. They only love what I'm worth. If anything strange happens, you come me first. Swear it. I swore, confused. 1 week later, she announced her diagnosis. Stage 4 pancreatic cancer. Terminal. 6 months, maybe 8. Then suddenly I was family. My mother-in-law invited me to her book club. My sister-in-law complimented my earrings. 3 weeks later, I discovered why. Sunday dinner at the estate. I was refilling my wine when I heard voices through the cracked study door. My mother-in-law's voice could have cut diamonds. $3 million, David. Divorce her before mother dies, and it's yours. That brownstone in Brooklyn Heights. Your freedom. The wine bottle nearly shattered against the marble counter. And if I refuse, David, my David, then you inherit nothing. Mother wants to include that girl in her will. We cannot allow outsiders to steal what's ours. I told Eleanor everything that night. She listened in her bedroom, moonlight making her look ghostly. Perfect. Let them hang themselves. Her eyes glittered. Don't tell David you know. I've been eating people like them for breakfast since before you were born. So I watched my marriage rot from the inside. David's late nights multiplied. His texts went cold. He forgot our anniversary, then picked fights about dishes, about my laugh, about the oxygen I was wasting. Eleanor told me to endure. So I did dying by inches. Then I found the evidence on his laptop. Wire transfer receipt. $3 million. Pending. A folder marked divorce filing, with papers already signed on his end. The next morning, Eleanor met me at a cafe in Soho. She walked in without her oxygen tank. No trembling. Nothing. You're not dying. That will smile again. Stage 4 terminal? Not quite. Stage 2. Very manageable. But they needed to believe I was circling the drain. Desperate people make sloppy mistakes. She leaned close. Now we collect everything. I have a lawyer they've never met. Can you be ruthless? I became a ghost in my own home. Screenshots. Voice recordings. I found their family group chat on David's desktop where they documented everything in writing. Finally dumping the gold digger, his sister wrote. The irony tasted like poison. Every Tuesday, Eleanor and I met her attorney, Marcus Lee, updating her will with each new piece of evidence. They're building their own gallows, Eleanor said. We're just tying the knots. 7 months later, Eleanor's luck ran out. The cancer spread despite treatment. She died on a Thursday with my hand in hers, not theirs. You were my real daughter, she whispered. Destroy them for me. 5 days later, Marcus Lee's conference room. David held my hand like he meant it. His mother practically vibrated with victory. Marcus started the reading. First, Mrs. Eleanor Ashford recorded a message. The screen blazed alight. Eleanor in her conservatory months ago, healthy and merciless. If you're watching this, congratulations. For 7 months, you documented your own crimes. Every bribe, every scheme, every pathetic conversation. The video played everything. Audio recordings, screenshots, bank statements. David's hand went rigid in mine. His mother's face turned ash gray. You tried buying my grandson to abandon the only person who loved me as a human being. So here's reality. Marcus read the actual will. To my son Richard, $1. To my daughter-in-law Patricia, $1. To my granddaughter Jennifer, $1. To my grandson David, $1. The remainder of my $78 million estate goes entirely to my granddaughter-in-law. Pandemonium. Additionally, Mrs. Ashford provided all evidence to the Manhattan DA. Wire fraud charges are pending. David lunged for my arm. You knew everything. I stood, calm as winter. I watched you betray me for 7 months. You chose this. Marcus and I left them to their apocalypse. 8 months later, I opened the Eleanor Ashford Foundation for Women's Education. Free programs, mentorship, resources for women climbing out of poverty. Security removed him while 300 phones recorded everything. It went viral overnight. The family became social pariahs. Country clubs revoked memberships. As for me, I'm engaged now. To Marcus Lee, Eleanor would have adored him. Sometimes I swear I hear her laughing from wherever brilliant women go, proud that I finally learned how to win at chess against snakes. If you enjoyed this story, hit subscribe and comment what you do with $78 million. Remember, karma always collects her debts with interest.